Hey guys, Roy from A&S Gear. We've got some tank accessories to look at today. So this is the HKarmy gauge cover. They say micro gauge cover on there. I was kind of able to make it fit on either one. But as long as I've been playing, I have seen lots and lots and lots of gauges go bad. They just go bad. The gauges on tanks are not the best. And that's just part of paintball right there. If that's a surprise to you, I'm sorry. But they're not the best gauges that you can find out there. They are not great at reading pressure. They are very generic when it comes to having an exact pressure reading on them. And they tend to fail. They just do. You can have gauges go bad right away. They can take a couple of years. They can go bad after a couple months. But they do. One thing you can do to help that from going bad, though, is to put a cover on it right here. So these covers are just rubberized. Maybe they're silicone. I don't know what they're. They're probably silicone right there. But they're stretchy. They have a little window cut out so you can see what the gauge is trying to tell you. And this does say micro gauge cover. It does say gauge cover. So I've got a micro gauge right here. This is off of a First Strike bottle. And it's real easy to put this on this one. You can kind of just peel it around there, make sure it slides over the back side of the gauge, and then you can even kind of just rotate it around so you can see what's going on. Now this will help protect the plastic window from getting shot off, from getting hit with paint and getting paint up underneath the window and into the gauge. It can help with a lot of things. It can't ultimately keep the gauge from failing, but it will prolong the life of the gauge before it fails. So it's a good option right there. So it does fit on the micro gauge, not a problem. I wondered though, well, can I fit it on a standard size gauge? And this took a little bit more stretching and a little bit more kind of just maneuvering, but I did get it on there. So I'm going to kind of start with this. You have less ability to adjust it when it's on there. So I would recommend making sure you kind of start with your display in the right spot, because you're really not going to be able to rotate this too much like you can on the micro gauge, the real micro gauge. So I'm going to make sure I get the back end rolled over so that it's completely cupping it. If you see on this, let me pull this one out of here. So on the back of the gauge, there's a little, or the gauge cover, there's a little lip on there, so that it comes around the back side of the gauge so it just doesn't pop off the front right there. So you want to make sure that you get that around the back side of whatever gauge you're putting it on. But it easily fits onto the standard size gauge as well. And the back side does wrap around, so it's not going to just fall right off. So I would say this will work on either one. Either a micro gauge, which is the smaller one, or a standard paintball gauge, which we've been seeing forever. So there are a couple colors you can choose from. The red with the black. We got the purple. I think that's more teal, but they're saying purple blue. We got the black blue or teal, the neon green with the black, and then the black with the white. It's a simple little thing to protect the longevity of your tank and your tank parts. That goes along with fill nipple covers. Nobody uses them, and it's something you definitely should have. That's a whole other tangent right there. But gauge covers, I think they're underused and underrated. You need to get one. So the HKarmy is giving you easy ones to put on for either micro gauges, standard gauges. It doesn't matter. Pick one up today from ansgear.com.